Okay, I have conjunctivitis in both eyes now. This eye and this eye. I've been trying to keep it clean. I have a horrible virus that I contracted inside of the jailhouse. They gave it to me. Now, I want to tell my story. First of all, I want people to please donate into me now, because I want to get to the courthouse and get a restraining order on these people and get them investigated also. Okay, here's the trip is that, okay, so I want to talk about how it all began. And I think I told my story though, but I have this disease now. Those people are cruel. See, the very petty reason that all this went down. See, I already kind of explained this. See, they were here for a long time. They were here for a long time. What I mean is I think they moved in 2001 or 2002. And really, I don't know because I didn't really pay attention to it. Right? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. So there's people coming and going. And see, they don't live there. Not really. What I mean is they don't stay there at night. They come in and out. Okay. And okay. So when, now, this case needs to be heard and opened up. That's why, see, the main reason why I want to talk to you guys is because I want a donation of at least $25 so I can run to the courthouse today. I want to get my case heard, see when they issue a restraining order on them for stalking and violating my rights. And the other night we had a power outage for a long time. It was out until about 8 o'clock. And then, see, I had all my, I'm fine with the power outage. See, I'm a survivalist in the mountains. We're used to power outages. And we have candles and we have our yard lights and stuff, and we love it, right? We're just like, all right, man. But people have these generators that are so loud. But okay, so they shine their lights in my windows like really bright because he's driving this big old garage van that he was obviously shining these lights in my window. But bottom line, these people are stalkers, and it took them a while. And this is what I mean is, okay, so when the asphalt spilling came around, I put up notes all up and down the street saying, this is a carcinogen. You are to live in intention here. You do not poison the land. I kept saying, and I kept really telling them and laying in on them with my notes for at least 1 week, 4 days to 1 week. Pardon my demeanor, I'm very irritated. This is so fucked up. Please donate into me at least $25 so I can get on the road today to the courthouse to get a restraining order on these people. See, that will get me a court date and my case heard. And see, okay, so they didn't notice me until I started being emotionally distraught, and those are sociopaths. See, the woman after the notes thing, you see, I was very upset about the asphalt, and then when I saw that they were tractoring the meadow there, I thought that they were going to build a house because of how big the tractor was, and I was like, oh no, and so I laid in on them. I said, this already has a house on it. Do not turn this into a fucking slum. It's already kind of overdeveloped anyway. Do not do that. And I kept laying it on them. And I admit, see, this is how I got my restraining order, okay? Is because I said some things I was remorseful over. I was terrible. Some of the notes said some terrible stuff, saying that you will get sick if you proceed on to try to do this, build a house. And I thought they were building a house. But the woman came up, called me to the fence there and voiced her concern, said, oh boy, you must be exhausted. And I said, well, and she said, well, what we're doing is restoring the meadows. And immediately I was like, oh, thank God. I said, it's just all going to come back again. And no, they put a phony garden in. But my point is, that's what got me the restraining order. See, they got the restraining order anyway, but when we went to the hearing, they lied. They lied about some things, and that's why I have this restraining order. Okay, so God, you guys, please give me a donation so I can get out and on the road and go to the courthouse so I can have my case properly heard. See, it wasn't till I was emotionally disturbed. See, he kept the guy who's a sociopath, both of them are dangerous people. They have a group, all of them, and I want to get restraining orders on all of them. It won't happen today. I hope I get a donation. I want to go today. I have to. Please help me with a money donation so I can get down to the courthouse and get a restraining order on them so that I can finally see that'll bring up a court date for them, and then I can speak first. And I can bring up all of this evidence already about how that I got reactive abuse when I said no to these people, that was wrong. They called the sheriff and they abused me verbally. They ganged up on me. They came in my home, and I'm saying no. And okay, so, okay. God, this is so horrible. See, they have me walking on eggshells and shit on my property. I'm fearful that it might happen again, that they might take me to jail and I could fucking die. I am so sick from having been exposed already. See, I had a restraining order, and I'm having difficulty. See, I am having difficulty in my life. See, this is the thing I wanted to bring up though. See, when I was putting those notes up, they did come and say, "Oh wow, you must be exhausted." Well, what we're going to do is we're just going to we are just restoring the meadow, Shauna. And I'm like, "Oh, thank God, it's just going to come back again, right? You're tractoring it and then leave it alone, and it comes back. Whatever restoration you're talking about, you just killed 2 ladybug chimneys that they used to billow out at least 20,000 ladybugs at a time. And they all went up, 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 and then they fly west. And they go across, I'm sure they go across the Southern California gardens. Whoever has gardens, they eat aphids. Ladybugs are aphid eaters. They eat the parasites. So anyway, they destroyed those. But see, look, this is the thing is, they got the restraining order on me anyway. See, she told me, oh, yeah, he's kind of quirky. You know, he's kind of quirky. And I'm like, oh, really? Thanks for the warning. See, this was years into, okay, this was in 2023. No, okay, yeah, it was 2023 that the asphalt spilling came. And then by 2024, I was being taken to court for a restraining order because of some things I said that I piped up immediately and said, I am so remorseful for having said that and I apologize. But no, those people laid in on me and they told a lie. See, this is the question, and I want the people to question this. Why couldn't they be cooler? No, they're unloving people. They used that to fucking start pounding on me. They showed no respect. There's just no respect. See, they could have been more loving people and said, oh, wow, you seemed emotionally distraught. See, the woman came to the side of the fence and she poked around. One of the first things she asked me is, what do you do for money? What do you do to make a living like for money? That's a sociopath. Those people right there are dangerous. That whoever asks that right away, those people are crazy. I didn't really mention it, you know. I told them that I'm a live performing artist, and I didn't have to answer that question. But upon talking to her, I got all kinds of red flags. Oh, I started letting her in on my personal life, saying, which you shouldn't do. Because when they see that you're emotionally fucked up, they pounce on you, and this is what happened. See, they couldn't be comforting and say, wow, I understand you're going through what, Shauna? What happened? Oh, let alone that I have a boyfriend who is totally wrong writing on me. And it's like a constant fight with that person. But my brother tried to commit suicide, and that highly impacted me. I was in grief. And I told her about that. And They took advantage of that. They think it's a downfall, like, oh, you're just so scuzzy because that happened to you. No, life is happening to me, man. See, sociopaths will treat it like that, but loving people will say, oh my God. And they would talk to us, right? And they would try to comfort us, right? None of that really happened. See, it took this long for them to finally get to me only because I showed an emotion. And I tried to explain that before John kept, now this is where the stalking comes in. He keeps poking over his head over the fence. Do you need anything? Do you need something? And he's not really asking me. I can tell I'm a super sensitive. I'm looking at him like, you're not really asking me if I need anything. You're testing my emotional waters. And I was very wary about that, and I was very distraught, actually. See, he can tell. But no, this took a while. See, it was about my trailer, and I thought, well, I'll have to sell my trailer. And I got that sold. And a whole year and a half passed. I had my money. And, but then the asphalt thing came down. And then they got a restraining order because I said, you guys are crazy if you build a house there. And they didn't comfort me at all, right? They weren't very, what I mean, they didn't comfort me at all. They were very disrespectful across the board, across the board. They obviously have a disrespect towards me. In fact, if I didn't know any better, they want me dead. So the the reason why I went to jail on April 24th, well, hey, I'm feeling, I'm supposed to get some wood into me, but my boyfriend is just like, he's purposefully torturing me by holding back. And if not, that's what happened, babe. You're not showing up for shit here. Not when I really need it. No, you're showing up for you. That's all. So, well, I put a note on my tree, and I thought, well, this actually, see, I think I'm in the right about this. They can't really film inside of my property. Not really. That's why I want to go to get the restraining order. Please donate into me, please. $25, I want to put it in my gas tank, and I want to just fucking drive to that fucking courthouse and get the restraining order. I want to see. I want my case heard. Clear back to this, okay? So they could have been fucking respectful, right? They could have been emotionally more, like, loving, but they weren't. These people are very fucking dangerous and fucked up. Disrespectful. So I put this note up. I think it was on, oh, it was like 22nd or something. This is right before I was going to go get myself some wood. And I remember I put that note up, and it didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't direct anything to anybody. It didn't say much. It said something like, well, if they have a picture of it, then I need that case pulled up and say, look, this is what they, again, why didn't they ask me, Shauna, please, this is so weird. Why are you doing this? We were concerned for you. And no, they're not concerned. They called the police, and they took me to jail, and that's why I have conjunctivitis and this horrible illness. Very disrespectful people, right? See, I took the note down, but they already took a picture of it. They ran out and took a picture. They're trying to tell me that it's because I said something on my Facebook too about them, and it's like, no, I remember the last court case. This is why I need a donation into me, so I can go down there and get a restraining order and then pull my case up. The courthouse has a record. At the very end of the first restraining order hearing, the judge actually snapped back at them and said, no, Shauna has a right to say anything she wants on her social media about any neighbor. Stay off her page. Well, they didn't. See, after this, when I got home after being sent to jail, I found that asshole, and I had to block him. Why didn't he block me and just fucking mind his own fucking business? And the note thing, right? Like, that thing, it's kind of like a cry out for help. I'm alone here, and they're just gonna go instead of, Shauna, are you okay? You seem like now and no, they weren't respectful or even concerned like that, right? Instead, they sent me to jail. Tried to kill me, basically. That's what you do when you want to kill somebody, is you send them to one of those places. They're not rehabilitating or doing anything for anybody there. They torture people there. Nobody deserves that. No one. They deserve loving care and understanding and presence and community. These people, please, please send me $25. Kim Cass, Nancy, look, it's Monday right now, and I realize everybody's busy on Sunday. They don't really look at their social media as much. And I already requested something from Nancy, and I want to request something, but this is so serious. I'm not trying to hustle. I'm never, ever, ever trying to hustle people here. I want to make it to the courthouse so I can give them a court date so that I can get my case heard, and then get them. Yeah, they've been stalking me. That's what it was. The guy is so creepy. The whole energy is so fucking creepy. It really is. And lo and behold, I get out of jail, and my boyfriend is so-called trying to help me, and really he's just a boundary-breaking narcissist playing a game, using their resources to fucking really just break me down. So he bails me out of jail, and then I get back up here, and I didn't feel this. I didn't feel this illness coming on, but I know that it came from there. It's slow but sure, very bad. My boyfriend came back up like a couple days later. He couldn't make it. I said, please come up now. I need protection right now. No, he couldn't make it. But he came up, and then when I started kind of sweeping the floor and I started saying some stuff about the neighbors, he fucking snaps at me and tries to cut my throat out, and then jumps on the side of the neighbor, and that's where I say, goodbye. I don't want to ever see you again. That's not right. That you're trying to shut me down when I have to speak. I have to be like a songbird and chirp. And I have a right to what I'm saying. Babes, you're in my house and you're telling me to shut up? Okay, so please donate $25 so I can get to the courthouse to open a restraining order on them and then start telling my case that they stalked me, and then that fact how that they sent me to prison by way of going against the judge's having said that no, Shauna can say anything she wants on her Facebook page, because that's what the main thing that the officer said while he's putting handcuffs on me. He says, you said something about them on your Facebook page. And I'm like, you know what? I have a right to do that. And I didn't really say anything about them. You want to pull it up? No, I mean, I talked about the neighbors, and I did say stamper, but it was, that's a stamper is a machine. And I referred to it. I said, well, yeah, you're getting stampered. I'm just saying it like that. It's hilarious. Okay, so they took me to jail and got me sick, very sick. Please send a money donation so I can go down to the court. These people are dangerous. They've had me walking on eggshells for a long time now. It seemed like it was so weird, so strange to get a restraining order for just, like, talking. See, I was remorseful about the shit that I had written about, your family's going to get sick if you proceed on trying to build a house. And they're like, oh, no, we're not building a house. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, but I thought you were, because you have a massive fucking tractor going across the yard like this. And usually people, if you're going to put it in a garden, babes, you should have fucking removed those ladybug chimneys. You should have been more cordial about it. Instead, it's just so. But I need that donation. If I get it this morning, I will go this morning, today. It's another dreary day. It's kind of drizzled all day yesterday, and it's drizzling today. This is Monday, and I want to do it Monday. I want to do it now. I will drive over there, even though my fucking tires are bald. See, there's people that don't really help you. They keep you in limbo, like my boyfriend. And they just think I'm ungrateful because I say, no, I don't like this breadcrumbing shit you're doing to me. I didn't want to fucking even say anything. You know what? I need wood. I need to be taken care of again. Bitch, you're coming to my fucking home and taking from me, and now you can't see that this is needed? By the time it became the 22nd and the 23rd and the 24th, I was just like, yeah, I'm so distraught because I'm having to get my own fucking wood, and I'm like, fucking I'm happy to do it. See, now that Mars is away from retrograde shadow, it's in Leo, I got all my energy back. I'm just restored. Even though I'm so fucking sick, while I was cutting wood yesterday, my other eye got conjunctivitis. It was weird. Snot just kept pouring out. I couldn't see out of it. And this is as a result of having been sent to jail by a stupid note. See, no, you don't look at me. You look at these people. I'm actually crying out for help again, and they can't help me. They can't really be present. They can't have respect. Babes, I'm not saying that, see, that was supposed to happen. See, I put that note up thinking, okay, see, one of the things, this is very important, one of the things that the Stanford people kind of put up into the courthouse when we went there, said, oh, and she keeps shining her camera in my yard. And it's like, no, I've been taking a picture of that scenery for the last 12 years on my Facebook, just saying, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's my yard, it's their yard, it's the neighbor's yard, it's the forest area, you fucking lame assholes. But they did. They said, oh, it keeps shining. And I heard that, I'm like, oh, all right, whoa. So I put a note up on my property, 3 feet in, on a tree, that doesn't address anybody, anything. It said something like, no, wait, I am not of doing, I am of being. Big deal, right? Oh, they called the police and they made me fucking sick, okay? So now that excuse of that he brought that up, oh, she's shining the camera in my yard. Well, you shined the camera in my yard just now. And then you went on my Facebook page. That's what the officer said. And the officer tells my boyfriend, I think, while I'm in the back of the car, it's because she put a note on, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all right, good. See, this was meant to happen, really. It was supposed to happen. Even the illness thing, as far as divine intervention. I need a money donation of at least $20 to $25 so I can get down to the courthouse today. So I can file a restraining order on these fucking creeps. They don't know how to talk. They just kind of, like I said, they pounced on me after so much time. I was totally minding my own business until the asphalt thing came around, and it was time to talk right there. And I'm going to open that case up a lot farther. I'm just very sick right now, and I don't have any help doing this, but I will do it all by myself. Aaron Brockovich does the same kind of thing, and there's other organizations that know about this environmental terrorism that is going on. And I think Donald Trump knows about it too. I mean, they're all in kind of cahoots, you would say, but that's the deep state who would be able to unleash truckload after truckload after, oh my God. At one point, I remember I was driving into town, it was the morning time, and it's a small town, and I was on this one little back road, I was going to turn, and I saw a fucking asphalt, it was like a cartoon, asphalt truck, massive, big fucking rigs, full of shitty asphalt, just going, I was stopped at this one intersection, and I saw like one go, and then one went, and then one went, and it was weird. It's like, that's environmental terrorism. And I could have all of these people's fucking properties removed from them, and then the properties cleaned up, and then laws changed here. Especially here, see, because it's happening in other places where they just do not allow it. They don't even allow a light to be put up because in Joshua Tree and other places, because, well, they're living in tension there. They live in a wilderness area that they love. They say, no, the reason why we turn our lights out, because we know why. We all agree. We love to see the stars. The reason why we don't put fucking toxic asphalt. See, the woman up in Oregon who suggested all of these lawyers that I should be getting a hold of. See, I'm finding it hard to do right now. Hard to do it, but I will. I need a money donation so I can get down to the courthouse and issue a restraining order so I can start a case against these very mean, cruel, emotionally insensitive, actually dangerous sociopaths. Every single time. See, looking into my yard, stalking, that's what that's called, I flip them off. I can just tell every single time he fucking looks over. Looks over at my chimney, looks at me, and it's like, this person is creepy. And the thing that my boyfriend witnessed one time too is that how his head was poking over the fence. I don't know if he was tall enough to see, but I was like, you see, because their dogs are barking, and I say, ah, blah, blah, blah. I said something about, nah, we don't need that. I said something like that. And I can say anything I want on my property. They have me walking on eggshells. So at that time, right when I said, no, we don't need that, because really they have the loudest dogs, just allowed everything. See, the point is to try and keep an environment that is peaceful and a sanctuary, as it always is, like the forest. But for some reason, it's not living in tension here. And that needs to stop. At least stop now, just and remove that fucking toxic shit that was terrorist attack. Okay, so let me get back to, please donate into me. At least $25 so I can get down to the courthouse. If I receive it today, I will go. Anytime before 5, if I know I can make it, I will go. I will just go at any time. I will spontaneously get up when I get that donation. I will go down there and do it, even though I have bald tires and my tags are bad even. But I go down and drive amongst all the people that they all have bad tags too. It's just a hard time right now. We can't pay our tags and stuff. So anyway, I don't worry about that. I go really quick, and a cop is not get next to me, and I have divine angels on my side. They just kind of go like this, they don't see me. So I want to get this done, but I want to finish my story here about how that, yeah, they sent me to jail about that for that very petty reason. See, they could have the whole time, really, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? But no, I was feeling them out. See, when they first talked to me, the very first time they talked to me, which was in 2001 or 2, see, I have to figure out when did they actually buy their house, because it was very peaceful up until 2023 September, when they started pouring that asphalt right on top of my head. Jimbo just up and jumps and he's been there for 30 years, and I'm like, you don't do that. And then apparently they're all in cahoots with some friends, like down the way. They did the same thing. And then they did the same. And then they're running a business. We'll do it. They're probably charging to run their steamroller and to put and truck it in with their tractor. And now they're doing a business behind it. Please make a donation to me today. It goes quick through Cash App. This is my address. $ AEIOUYOUTOO. As soon as I get that money donation, I will fly down. If it's not past business hours, it's May 5th. I will go and get that restraining order. They were stalking, and they violated some of my rights. Big time. Very mean. They have caused me such pain. And I want my case to be heard, and I want them to be dragged to court, and now it's my time to tell my story. And it will happen. It will. I'm supposed to do this. It's weird. It's like nobody really wants to do this, but this is what's happening. See, it can elevate me to an Aaron Brockovich style person who, oh, I could take their fucking property. I could take these people's property. Mine. I could take every bit of their property. I own it now, and I have it cleaned up based on just having won a major lawsuit, because in fact that was a terrorist attack. And it's illegal. We can pull up the records how they don't care to take care of that business. But there is a record. See, I talked to this one officer. I was like afraid for my life. This was after I got out of jail, and I didn't get this conjunctivitis yet, but I was feeling like I was coming on to sickness. It was on the 26th or the 27th that I called a sheriff. It was fruitless because that fucking sheriff was so mean. I mean, they're just like looking at me, and I said, and they were very fucked up. See, I have to go by the way of court. But that's on record, that I had called and concerned. And he's the one who told me to get a restraining order. Very non-cooperative person that person was, actually. He just was against me every fucking word. Denying it. And see, I want them to turn their radio off and get it away from fucking my house. And a lot of stuff I want them to stop doing for me. But no, yeah. Please send that money donation so I can, when I see it, I pop right up and I go get this fucking restraining order. I was already ran around by the Menifee courthouse where I waited in line. It said for a restraining order. And so I waited in line. And for whatever reason, I don't know, the woman looked at the paper and she says, oh, no, you have to go to this courthouse because it's related to that courthouse. All right, I'll go to that courthouse, though. But I had already been. See, the Hemet courthouse is a ghost. There's no, it's closed. And then I went to a paralegal right across the street, and I kind of talked to them about some things, and they're like, yeah, this and that. Thank you. And so then I went to, well, they told me where the Menifee courthouse was. It's a straight shoot. I can do it. I need a donation so I can just drive and get this done. And then start a case and open up to even bigger. Oh, it's gonna fucking, I just know I'm gonna win so much fucking millions of dollars. I don't care about that by then. I want this thing to be cleaned up. And of course, I need toilet paper. Of course, I need to re-roof my house, you know. See, I could take that property away from them. I could take that fence down. I could knock that house down and I say, no, this is my meadow now. Okay, so please send a donation. Just because I'm talking strong, you people are so weak because you can't hear somebody just talking strong, like forcefully. It's not my problem. I will be heard, all right? I want to go to court and do that. One thing I didn't mention yet, and I want to bring it up so I can just stop this. No, very mean people. Not really emotionally loving, right? What I mean is just not loving at all. If you want to talk about practicing this Christianity and being loving to people, no, not at all. No, they're awful. See, now this is what I wanted to wrap it up with. Because I practice Buddhism, I'm a master, and it's just a conversation between two people. And if you can imagine that conversation, you could talk to somebody for the first time just for 3 minutes and then leave. And that's the extent of your conversation, but you're right there and you kind of bring them into reality. See, but each time I talked to the stamper guy, I saw that he was prejudiced. He let me know. He says, he's just the way he's so damn good, and he's got his property now. And really, it's just money. That really, it's just shit. And they attract flies. They have a whole crew of people that all agree that they're bitching. The 2 plus 2 is 5, and it's flies swarming around shit. Eventually, some people that need to wake up and be saved, or whatever you call it, can just think on their own and say, oh, no, actually, no, and that's terrible. See, when I get this restraining order, I'm going to go up and down the block and say, this is what has happened to me. I can't believe it. See, this neighborhood, it has a lot of business owners on it. Yeah, so it's a pretty special fucking street because of that. And see, the thing that, okay, so the Donahues, I have respect for them. They have respect for me, and they still do, I can tell. See, I have to walk around the Stampers and then go and tell Cheryl about my story and say, can you believe that? I got so sick, and they've been so fucking mean. And, no, but see, from the get-go, the first thing he lets me know is that he's prejudiced against the riffraff with no money walking down the street. He's prejudiced against poor people. I gathered that he's prejudiced against Mexican and black people. Now, I'm a Buddhist person, and I'm thinking, wow, this person is really sick. I kind of had to stay away from that. When I heard who he was by that conversation in 2001 or so, I kept my distance. I said, okay, well, whatever. Have a good fucking whatever you're doing. I don't want to. But he kept stalking. Kept stalking. He wants to talk to me. Yeah. Hey, Shanna. I'm like, cool, whatever. See, they're doing the keep up with the Joneses thing. And it's like, that's fucking stupid. Why don't you help your people in your neighborhood instead of fucking trying to bat them down with your money? You help them as if you really wanted to. Kept poking his head over my fence. Every time I got near my trailer, I'm looking at my trailer and I wanted to sell it. So I did. I said, well, okay. Can you tell me how do I put a lien on this trailer? How do I make it put a lien on it? I thought I had to put a lien on it, but it turned out it was a no name. My boyfriend helped me with it. Why? Oh, a money deal. Probably wanted some money. Oh yeah, he got money out of it. He's making me pay back every single fucking thing that he so-called gives. Those people, you people are so fucking rotten. I don't hold it against you. You're just miserable. You're miserable. You've never gotten on the side. You've never gotten on the light side. You don't know that what goes around comes around. Oh yeah, it does. These people are gonna pay. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose their property. So far I can see, a lot of people will be losing their property. I just want it all removed with heavy equipment. See, one of the conversations, I was like, wow, we made it. Isn't this wilderness area beautiful? And he just interrupts me and goes, oh, no, this is definitely not a wilderness area. So there, again, I'm like, okay, so you don't see, even if you burnt down all the trees, you would see a fucking tundra of rocks. And that's a wilderness area, babe. You stupid fucking people. See, I wanted nothing to do with these people. When I heard their conversation, by the time it was 2000, a whole year passed. Yeah, I think I need to call these records up. When did they move there, and why did it take so long for them to finally try and cut my throat out? Because that's all they can think of doing. First of all, they would show me who they are with their conversation, which is like, you just stay away from that. They're Thank you for listening. Please send a donation of $25 so I can go down to the courthouse. If I get a ping on my phone at any time before 3 in the afternoon, I will drive down there really hard and get this done. Thank you. I am in such pain right now. You wouldn't believe how... Okay, I've been up for 4 hours. I was coughing. I don't want to talk about this fucking medical office over here. I think I already tried to talk about it. And I keep thinking, it's like, they could have at least offered an expectorant, like a cough, not a cough suppressant, but an expectorant. And then also, yeah, one that will, yeah, it's a suppressant and an expectorant. They have it also with stuff to help you sleep, like codeine, but I'm allergic to codeine. Makes me itch a lot. But they have other, see, they have pharmaceutical. I know that there's, see, I don't like it to take any of it. Shouldn't have to have gone through any of this. I'm pretty sure I'm going through like the worst of it right now, and I could be healing. See, I'll feel fine when I'm on the freeway. After I had received that money donation, I'm going to get the restraining order. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Babes, justice is coming to us all, especially if you stand for the truth. A woman. A woman. Amen. No, a woman.